Hello everyone, my name is Su Xinji. This is for my internship. Thanks to Incorta giving me an opportunity. I'm working on using external notebooks for Incorta machine learning in the past 3 months. The objective of the project is to create a proof of concept that demonstrates using integrated external books for model training and using Incorta ML for scoring. In this presentation, I'm going to do over what I did using the external notebook and the Incorta data API. Incorta API can also produce, not just the model produce the POC file. So I test the data lake connector to get them to load data from generating API into Incorta. As part of a project, I also try to use GitHub to save the different versions of notebook into GitHub. I use the dataset about electric production and use the ARIMA model to predict future production. I also use a Facebook perfect model that I'm going to go through that. In both cases, the model building in the external book and the used model in Incorta using MV. Here is the methodology I use in my project. I use the dataset from Kaggle. For this test, I use a time series forecasting. I did research about the state model and I use RIMA and Facebook Perfect. Both of them function to allow me to save and load the model. I also try to show the result in Incorta. Both time series maths are using the Panda data frame, so I need to convert PySpark to Panda and from Panda back to the PySpark. So this is the assumption of the flow of what I did. The assumption was that getting the data from Incorta. I use the external books to get the data from Incorta and split the data into 2 data sets for training as well as for testing. In this internship, I use 2 models. I use a RIMA model as well as a Facebook model, Facebook Perfect model for time series. And testing data used to evaluate the model. After the model is created, I save the model on disk for reuse. For this part, I use an external notebook and using the Incorta data API. After the model saved, I also try to get the data from Incorta MV and use them to prediction, and that is what I'm going to go over. First of all, I get this dataset from Kaggle. The dataset used here has 2 columns. One column is the date, and the other column related to consumption percentage. It includes the data from December 31, 1984 to December 31, 2017 for predicting the consumption of electricity in the coming future. This is a code build the perfect model in notebook. Perfect model is an interest require a column to be special name. The date have to be DS and the value need to be Y, so I need to be renamed first. I save it into Incorta tenant directory. I created the ML model under the data folder. The prediction model requires me to pass the date, and I will predict the monthly electric production, and I need to predict the 1 record per month with the whole year. Here is a result in Incorta. The blue line showing original data, and the green line showing predict electric production. By doing this project, I learned that data need to be clean first. Early when I first tried, I used other dataset, but I found out I cannot find any partner and any forecast. So I used tables to view data in Incorta and found that my previous dataset had a lot of data missing, which led to incurrency predictions. This taught me that when I get a dataset, I need to view the data first. It is very convenient for me to view data in Incorta. I also learned that and practice PySpark and Pandas, and I test Jupyter Notebook. I also test Facebook, Perfume, and Arima. And now for me, this model, I didn't do a lot of statistic work, but I plan to study more. Through this project, I know and what I don't know, I would like to learn more about this model evaluation in the future. After this internship, I realized that I need to learn more about the time series algorithm, Python, Matplotlib, and study statistics. I will keep to study. Here are the blogger link to get more detail about my project. Yeah, that's all my project. Thanks for your listening.